Welcome back to the channel. Today we are reacting to MacDonald's Dirty Money. We're going back to reactions on the channel. Probably won't be doing requests though. But yeah, let's just get right into it.
They're angry that they'll never shut me up. I'm making more noise. Turn me up or turn me down, it's your choice. Black lives only matter when they got a corpse to exploit.
Yeah, they used police brutality to profit off of police killings. They ignore the white people and other races that are killed by the police on a daily basis, but they only care about the black people that are killed by the police because it creates a tension. It's a tactic used to divide, and at the end of the day, the media is only for profit. That's what happens when you allow private corporations to profit off of telling the news. And also, what did Joe Biden and the Democrats do after Black Lives Matter, after Trump was out of office? As soon as Joe Biden gets in, he takes the COVID stimulus checks that Trump provided during his presidency and uses them to fund the police, to further fund the police. But yeah, so let's continue.
Cause the media made millions off the protests for George Floyd. That's called ad revenue. They make cash selling you all the crap in the ads while they broadcast news. Ooh, the network full of liars got investment capital and segments sponsored by Pfizer.
And can't say too much about the vaccine because Joe Biden loves he loves working with the private corporations that fund him so that they can push so they can censor misinformation and malinformation, whatever other term they come up with in the last 10 minutes, so they can push the vax. I would call it that because I don't want to get the channel taken down, while the vax has not cured or prevented the virus, let's just say. And there is some suggestion that it may have caused like myocarditis, I believe it's called. But yeah, let's continue.
And the freedom fighters, I feel like the left just plants them to infiltrate the right. It's extensive planning. Then it
No, that's just a bunch of crap. Yeah, they're right wing because they're capitalists. They want to profit. That's why they push the Let's Go Brandon merch and all this, because they're capitalists. Because the whole point in capitalism is to profit. It's to maximize profit. That's the problem with our system right now. Well, to be fair, what we're under is not just regular capitalism. We're in the highest stage of capitalism. We're under imperialism. Also, along with imperialism comes neoliberalism, where we outsource the jobs to, well, he is, spoiler alert, but he says it in the song in a few minutes, all this money we owe to China because we're outsourcing our jobs.
happens overnight. It's impressive branding. Make $1 million off of shirts that say let's go Brandon. It's a cash grab. Everyone's a lab rat. Amazon made billions of dollars from sanitizer and black man.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the virus. They expect us to believe Big Pharma, when in reality, Big Pharma is profiting off this virus. They had the patents on the vax. They had the patents, and these impoverished countries couldn't afford to get the vax. And they're telling us that you gotta get the vax because we say. To be fair, the vax mandates were under Trump, but still, the vax mandates, Joe Biden's tried to push it. Sleepy Joe's tried to push it, but the government has no right to tell us that we must take this vax, especially when it doesn't even work. And there's a risk of myocarditis.
And that's that. Funny how the terrorists who attack always come from places that are oil rich and have gas. Democrats.
And these terrorism efforts, they're literally just going after countries that nationalize their energy sectors because they cannot profit off of the buying that country's oil. They can't profit off of buying that country's oil. So they go invade and steal their oil. That's why we need energy independence. We should be drilling our own oil. We should not be buying oil overseas. We should cut ties, all ties with Saudi Arabia. We shouldn't be sanctioning Russia, no. Stop buying their oil and then just buy it from Saudi Arabia at higher costs. That's madness. And people are wondering why the gas prices are going up. That has a lot to do with it.
They don't give a damn. What is this about? Our military trapped in the Middle East, can't get them out. Heroes are the ones who...
We have no business in other countries. Same with the Ukraine. Just look at the history. We couped the country in 2014, and NATO and the United States has been heavily involved in escalating the war with Russia. And Ukraine's a fascist country. When they couped the government and placed Vladimir Zelensky, the fascist puppet, the Ukro-Nazi, Russia is literally just responding to that. They put it off forever and ever because Putin is a capitalist. He's a capitalist, so he's not too concerned with fascism. But he is anti-imperialist. I'll give him that. But it wasn't an invasion. They're liberating Ukraine. Ukraine's killing innocent people, innocent Russian speakers that live in which region was it? I can't remember the region, but and they've also banned trade unions, banned the Communist Party, they banned the Orthodox Christian religion. Basically, they effectively gone after the Orthodox Christian religion. This is fascist tendencies.
Who had the Constitution written down? Y'all are using hero while describing Kyle Rittenhouse. 1 cent, 2 cents.
And they're going after a constitution too. You can't protect yourself. You can't use your Second Amendment right against the police. The police are gonna shoot you dead. That's what when they after January 6th, when they went after the Trump supporters, the people involved in January 6th, despite the fact that the police are the ones that planned it with the Proud Boys. They went into the Trump supporters' homes. Trump supporters trying to protect themselves with guns. They shot them dead. And you can make this argument with black people and trans people. That's what they do. That's what they do. This is Joe Biden is leading a fascist administration. The Democrats are the ones that are the fascists. They're going after free speech too. I'd argue Ron DeSantis is too. I would agree that Ron DeSantis is a fascist. But to say Trump is a fascist, that's delusional. Trump is a capitalist. What he is trying to protect his capital. All he's about is making money. That's what Trump is. He's not a fascist.
2 cents, 3 cents, 4. We get less and they get more. Buying sold since we were born. They want money. We want dirty dollars.
But yeah, we're taught from a young age consumerism. When all we are fed is ads, the adpocalypse. There's ads everywhere. There's ads in Gmail now. We're taught from a young age that money is all that matters. When even, like, I personally am not religious, but from a religious perspective even, the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. I would give examples from other religions, but I know mostly about Christianity. I know some about Islam, but I don't know much about the text of Islam. So.
Fill their pockets while our coffins fill the ground. They make profit solving
But that's their goal, for our coffins to fill the ground. That's the goal of the Negro fascists. The Negro fascist one that's got power. The Republican Party are the imperialists, and the Trump wings the capitalists. Joe Biden and the woke capitalists, they're effectively Negro fascists. It's not progressivism they're pushing. They're pushing reactionary progressivism. The idea that we got to overreact on everything, pretending to push a progressive agenda just to profit, and with all the stuff they're doing, they're throwing people in prison for standing up against Joe Biden's support of the Nazis in Ukraine. We're sending all of our money over to Ukraine. We don't even have enough money for the fires in Mao, which were suspiciously started. I don't believe for a second that climate change is the reason the fire started in Mao. I don't believe for a second, and just recently Florida with the flooding, we don't have enough money for this because we're sending all of our money to the Eco-Nazis.
problems they create to keep us down. Dirty money. Dirty money. I don't want your dirty money. They might kill me for this song, it's all classified intelligence.
But yeah, if you're anti-establishment, they're going to go after you. You speak up against our privatized government, the dictatorship of the bourgeoisie. Even the Trump supporters are not they're not communists, but the state is going after them because they're speaking against the establishment. That's why they're going after Trump. He's no communist either, but that's what they do. They are desperate. Fascism's a desperate capitalism, as Marcel Cartier said. And that's what they're trying to do. Their main goal is to divide people so the workers won't unite and overthrow this provisional government. That's their goal.
Don't need to go to war to secretly be getting benefits. When Russia launches rockets, we condemn them, but there's evidence a U.S. politician owns the screws they're assembled with. Ain't no war on drugs, it's economic.
They use the war on drugs literally just to imprison people. I personally support decriminalizing all drugs and legalizing psychedelics and at least criminalizing the sale of opioids. But the only way that we are ever going to lower drug addiction is to look at the root cause. What's the root cause? Capitalism. Capitalism is the root cause of everything. It's the root cause with the suicide rates, root cause with depression, mental illness, the lockdowns. That was a Negro fascist method to kill off the population, whether it be suicide or lowering production because of the falling rate of profit.
Make money off an inmate, every jail cell is profit. Our prisons are privately owned, illegal marijuana just mean kids smoke.
And we can't have private companies running our prisons. Our prisons are basically, they're terrible places because we allow private corporations to run our prisons. That's madness. I don't want no private capitalist who's in for it for the profit. Punishment is never going to fix the problem. I would argue rehabilitation under this current system is not going to fix the problem either, because the real problem with crime is poverty. The real problem with crime is poverty. You go to prison for stealing something like food. You get brutalized by the police, you go to prison, get raped, tortured, and beat by the guards and whatnot. How's that going to make you better? That's not going to make you better. You're just going to end up doing worse and worse, and when you get out, there's no job for you. Good luck even finding a job. Then you're likely to go towards drug dealing or prostitution. That's more for women, but it's just a downward spiral. Now, this is not the case for everyone, of course, but our prison system is literally just survival of the fittest. That is basically the Da Vinci Code for fascism.
Weed turn to dollars in their pockets, let's be honest. Domestic threats in comparison to nuclear powers who hate the West is embarrassing. Still we label truckers in the convoy as terrorists and confiscate donations we have no...
Yeah, the trucker protests, they're acting like a big deal. These are blue-collar workers. They're literally they're getting fired because they were too afraid to get the vax. That's literally all they were. Yes, there was Nazis in there. Yes, there was Confederates in there. But still, that doesn't mean that all the truckers in that protest were Nazis or Confederates. And Confederates necessarily are not racist. Some of them are just stupid. But let's continue.
No idea where it is, a pipeline leaks, price of gas goes higher, stock market crash, everybody gets fired, economy is weak while we trying to beat the...
Go back.
Goes higher, stock market crash, everybody gets fired.
Yeah, the way our economy works, people can't keep jobs because they're all-time fire them for reasons that capitalism has caused, because capitalism is a contradictory system. And the unemployment rate, we're worried about economic growth. I don't give a crap about how much corporations have made this quarter. What I care about is how much are the working class making? How much are the people that are actually keeping the economy running, the people that are actually working, the people that actually keep this country running? How much are they making? And they're hardly making anything. All of it's taken through like income taxes. They won't tax the rich. Anytime they lower taxes, it's only for the rich. They won't lower the income taxes for the working people. And with inflation that's caused by capitalism, and with unemployment and poverty and all this insurance, you don't technically own anything in this country. You basically are renting everything with insurance and all this. Let's continue.
Economy is weak while we trying to beat a virus. $1 trillion in debt to China.
Yeah, free trade. We're outsourcing all of our jobs to these impoverished countries, and then we're bringing immigrants across the border. In a lot of cases, we're trafficking immigrants over the border, and putting them in jobs that Americans could take, just so that they could pay the immigrants less, because they know the immigrants are desperate because now not all of them are from Mexico, but for example, the sanctions we have on Mexico and Cuba, for example, the sanctions on Cuba and Mexico are destroying the economies of those countries, destroying the livelihoods of people, putting them in terrible amounts of poverty, and they're coming to the border and they're acting like we got a border problem. Well, yeah, because we're the ones that caused the border problem. Well, I should say the government, but they're the ones causing the border problem.
We celebrate the smallest battles we're winning, so they can publish the headline that's gonna fuel division. But if we champion the crumbs, then it's crumbs that we're given, and we don't make any progress, we're stuck at the beginning. 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cents, 4. We get less and they get more. By insults we were born. They want money. We want dirty dollars fill their pockets while our coffins fill the ground. They make
I wouldn't say that we want war, well, class war, but revolution's what we need, not a war. Class war, I guess you could say class war. But I don't really regard class war as actual war. I regard that as a revolution of the proletariat.
make profits, solving problems they create to keep us down. Dirty money. Dirty money. I don't want your dirty money. Money, 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 money. Not enough soap to scrub, it's soaked in blood.
Yeah, with all the wars they're trying to start, because they're trying to make money for these military contractors, these private weapon manufacturers, Raytheon and Lockheed and Martin. What this economy thrives on is war. All they want is war. Joe Biden's pushing it when he's warmongering with Russia, warmongering with China, warmongering with Iran with his woke imperialist venture, stating that the people in that country are displeased with their Islamic theocracy, when in reality 3/4 of the people in Iran are just fine with an Islamic theocracy. And we're pushing for war with Mexico, pushing for an invasion because of the drug cartels, ignoring the fact that the CIA is the ones trafficking the drugs into the United States.
About the money, 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 money. Every time we make a buck, they take from us. It's all about the money, 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 money. The dollar runs our lives until we die. It's all about the money, 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 money. It controls.
But yeah, that's what we're pushing for, a classless, stateless, moneyless society. One where work will be life's prime want, not life's prime need. Now, I would argue it's everyone's duty to work. But you shouldn't have to work just to survive. You should have to work because it's your duty.
Your mind and they controlling mine. Dirty dollars fill their pockets while our coffins fill the ground. They make profits, solving problems they create to keep us down. Dirty money. Dirty money. I don't want your dirty money.
Alright, another good MacDonald song. At least he didn't go on with a bunch of nonsense that he sometimes goes on with. But that's going to conclude for this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and all that. And see you in the next one. Peace.